Hello everybody and welcome back. This beginner let's play for France. I'm just kind of looking at the world map here and kind of thinking to myself, it'd be kind of fun to actually get down into southern Africa, like the Cape. There's actually some good trade that flows through here actually. Wow. And Portugal is going to try to get their mitts on all of this as well. Now I believe this does go to the English Channel. Yeah, so it would actually be worth having a dominance here because all this trade comes into here and then it gets distributed throughout all of Europe. Oddly enough, some of this actually gets kicked over to the New World, which is crazy. So if we had a real dominance over the Ivory Coast, then Castile and Portugal couldn't really benefit from most of the trade coming in through Africa. And even, not just Africa, but that trade comes in through, you know, the West Indies as well. Portugal is working on this stuff, but a lot of the centers of trade are actually owned down here by nations. This would be such a nice province to grab. Do we have the range for it? we're just barely too short. Currently, we're just barely too short on the range there. Yep, we're just barely too short to get this province here, which is a center of trade. Wait, how do we have a 21% power here? Yeah, don't ask me. I don't know how we're getting to 25% or 21% trade power down there. But we are somehow. Alrighty, so we're finishing the war with Scotland as well. That's what we were actually doing. Scotland has no troops. This is literally just doing the dirty work here. Okay, so there's going to be some unrest here if we want to get an innovation point. Again, the unrest here is -9 on its own, so this is literally going to do nothing. The only thing we need to be cautious of here is actually that the clergy is going to gain more influence. That's the thing that we really need to pay attention to. And in this case, we're fine. They don't have enough influence for it to matter at the moment, but sometimes that can push them over 80%. 80%, of course, that magic number where they really get upset and try to take over the country. This is slowly going up. It'll be a couple years, but it will go back up. So we are getting some negative modifiers there, some very nasty ones, but we'll be fine. The truth is, we don't need this many dudes over here. Let's finish sieging down the provinces that we might actually be taking here in this war. Of course, as I say that. Oh, we're still looting here. Okay, yeah, let's keep looting there. A lot of money here in the capital. Makes sense. Okay, well that's a big manpower hit right there. Big manpower hit. But we're pretty much at max, so I'm not worried about it. The alternative to that, of course, was to reduce our army professionalism. But if we're at max manpower, we might as well let it tick upwards rather than just sit where it's at, so. Scotland's definitely feeling like they don't want to be in the war anymore. Once we get... Oh, they control the Isle of Man. I forgot about this province. That's actually kind of annoying that they're sitting here with 1,000 troops. But at least there's no fort over here. It'd be really annoying if they had a fort there. The other thing that I'm kind of wondering here... Yeah, let's get our troops here, because I wouldn't mind sieging these areas down here. I'm kind of thinking it might be worth... It might actually be worth just grabbing these provinces here. They're so cheap. 3 development. 5 development. They should basically just be free. So what we can do here... is just take over like a token 10,000 here, just so that we can easily smash the troops here. In fact, with 10,000, it should be an actual stack wipe. What war is those? Are those literally just our trade ships going around beating up the enemy ships? That's funny. Age of Reformation. Here we are. Here we are. So this is where that whole pretty picture of like everyone being Catholic is going to start shifting fast. In fact, we already have some Protestant influences growing here. Looks like Switzerland has decided to become Protestant. Also got Mecklenburg up here. And these centers are sort of spreading the Protestant religion around even non-voluntarily. I think for the most part, I don't know, thematically, France of course stayed Catholic. We have a good relationship with the Pope, right? We're actually the Curate controller. I feel like as long as there's a good chance that we can hold on to that, then maybe we stay Catholic this game. Now, will it let us go Reformed? No. I think that happens later. Or is it because we actually don't have... No, we are at 100%. Over 100%. Yeah, the Catholic religion isn't particularly... There's not too many interesting things going on except for the papacy. And right now, we're getting so many amazing benefits from that. I like it. Because I don't even think, honestly, we need to... Okay. Get more claims in Denmark. This one's going to be, like, super critical. Because of the way that this sort of, you know, is sort of chops it all in half and everything. We get one here or not? We can. Let's grab that, because that gets us up into a new region. Kind of nice. England, how many? We have 4 claims with England. We could try to work on a 5th, that's fine. I'm just thinking, let's free up a diplomat here. Let's just free up the Denmark one so that we have a diplomat to make this deal. Scotland is actually building some troops. So if we grab that, we can grab that on cheap. And these are... Let's double check the ones that we have claims on. Yeah, these 3 here. Okay, we can grab those. Austria is actually going to be a little bothered by this. No one's going to mind too much. These are pretty cheap down here. Austria is really the one person here that's going to be bothered. That kind of sort of matters, but not really, because no one else here matters. And you can't really have a coalition of one, right? So this nation's going to be, you know, is literally going to disappear. It's fine. A little bit of diplomatic power to grab these 2 provinces here. Not worried about that. We have plenty of admin. We kind of actually just need stuff to do with our admin, to be honest. Take all their money, make them pay war reparations. What am I saying? Holy cow. Can't speak tonight, I guess. We're going to be going... It doesn't matter if this is going to be a huge 15-year truce, because we're probably going to be going into war with Scotland via Kildare. This actually looks good. It's saying, oh yeah, coalition, but see, here's the thing. England, we have a truce with England. Scotland, we have a truce with Scotland. So then basically it leaves, you know, Liege, tiny nation, Utrecht, tiny nation, Friesland, tiny nation. Kildar, we have a truce with them, and Austria. It would be nice to see, the one thing we can double check is there potential to butter them up? No, we've already got the max, and they've rivaled us. No, nothing's gonna happen there. Nothing's gonna happen there. Let's just get it done. Now, I did kind of notice that because we don't have this province here, a little annoying. Let's definitely get the claim here, though. Actually, changed my mind. Get it on the capital. But we'll definitely want to work towards a claim there. We don't need this. We don't need forts up here. Oh, we do need to remember to get these cores going as quickly as possible. Really, you should be doing that immediately. Wow, 100 prestige. Nice. 100 legitimacy. Good amount of power projection. Speaking of power projection, who are our other rivals? Because we need to embargo them too. The Mamluks. Let's embargo you guys. And the Ottomans. Wait 8 days for him to come back. It says we're actually losing money. We should probably build some buildings though, because we do have a lot of money. Why are we losing money though? We're rooting out corruption again. Is this really this? Oh, you know what I realized? This guy's gonna be cheaper. We should replace... Yeah, it's only 35 ducats and we are gonna be paying way less ducats per month. And he's younger, so he should last longer. So yeah, so now we're gonna be saving a lot of money. We're saving like 4.5 ducats a month by doing that. Did we already get the Ottomans? Yes. The other thing we can do actually, if we needed to improve our power projection, is we can actually insult our rivals. It gives us 5. But because we're already at 61, it's not going to give us too much of a benefit to do it now. Because I think there's a cooldown on insulting the rivals anyway, so... you know what? No, actually, let's insult the Mamluks. Let's insult the Mamluks and see exactly how that works. We're at 61. Insult the Mamluks. Of course, that gives them a reason to go to war with us, right? But what are the Mamluks going to do? Nothing. Nothing. It's sort of a cheesy little thing. But yeah, it insulted rival. It's +5, but that's going to go down once per year. I'm going to trend once per year. Age of Reformation. So we actually can look at this too and see what's going on here. Lots of things to look at all of a sudden. Okay, we're almost to the point where the nobility is going to like us. That's actually going to be a huge monetary swing, right? It's going to be a huge monetary swing. Let's get these troops back. What's the highest development province up here? And we also need to double check, are these actually all... Oh, these are Gaelic separatists here. 2 different groups of separatists, Scottish and Gaelic. In fact, here's the funny thing. We could actually release this province. We could make this a vassal. We could cancel this core. We don't need to. So what we could do is we could actually release Geldum. And they have cores, right, on these lands here. So it'd be a vassal of ours that has cores on these lands, and we could gobble these lands up on the cheap. And the cool thing is, so when you take land, when you annex a vassal, you use diplomatic power instead of administrative power. So it's a way to balance out, you know, taking land is expensive on the admin power. But because you can use vassals to use diplomatic power to take land, it balances that out. But right now we're actually doing better on admin than diplomacy. Actually, I'm changing my mind. Because we want to take an admin idea next. So this is going to be a huge admin dump. I'm trying to work on one of these idea groups over here. So now I'm actually kind of flip-flopping here. Let's cancel the core here, which unfortunately we might not get the full value back. Yeah, I think we actually did. That's nice. That's nice. And let's actually release this. Plus, we also have plenty of relationship, right? No, we're at 5. Why? Are we at 5? We're supporting the independence. Okay, so unfortunately, we could break the Polish alliance. We really don't need them for anything, like at all. That's just one more alliance that something could go wrong. Because it is going to be a diplomatic relation to keep this nation here. Let's release them. So, okay, going a little fast here, sorry. So this button down here, I don't know why it's down here. It seems like an odd spot, but create a subject. Create a subject. So we can go here, and these are all the nations that we could actually create. In fact, we could create Gascony, Champagne. These are all the little nations that we could create. And the funny thing is, we can actually recreate Burgundy if we wanted to, but we don't need to because this is our land. We've already paid for all this land. We've paid the blood and the administrative power to make this our land. There's literally no point in doing that. But we haven't paid any administrative power for this. We just conquered this in war. We can go here, release Gaeldom. We can actually play as this nation too, which will switch us to playing this nation, but we definitely don't want to do that and throw all our hard work away. So let's release them though. So this is now our nation, or our vassal. They love us because we release them, which is always good. They already have a core on this land, and if we look, now they have cores on these bits and bobs here too. So they're going to be able to get these, they're going to be able to integrate these lands for free almost. It's going to be very cheap for them. It's going to be very effortless, where we would have to fight rebellion, right? We would have to fight the rebels, the Gaeldom rebels or whatever, the Gaelic rebels. Now we don't have to. So we can just chill out. We can just chill out. We really do need some more transports. It's actually getting kind of annoying. We need at least enough transports to deliver a group of troops in two deliveries instead of like awkwardly leaving one behind every time. Oh, and I did just realize something. Actually, if we were dropping them off in Tyrone, it would have been more efficient, but that's okay. How are the others? So the Cornish down here are actually thinking about rebelling, but they're still at 70%. We can hang out for a bit there. You know, Poland, it was nice being your alliance, your ally. I changed my mind. We actually don't need to be your ally. Unnecessary. And we're working on so many different spy networks. We're kind of going back into aggressive mode here. I think really there's only one more claim we can even build on Denmark, so we're just going to get that other claim that we can build. And that'll be that. We'll be done with Denmark. Of course, Sweden actually is just getting kind of stomped this game, unfortunately, but eventually they are going to declare their independence against Denmark, and we'll have to be ready for that. You know, I changed my mind. Last time we tried to do, like, bury the hatchet, nah, let's forget about it. Let's stop working with them. We do want to butter up. That's okay. We need to do this manually again. It's like we don't care about Belmont at all. The funny thing is we do actually need a claim on them at least, though, right? We need to rebuild claims with these two nations here. Man, this is all. We need 40 for England. So I think once we get to 40 on England, we'll be done there. England, the truce with them is ending. The funny thing is we could actually we could be in a war with England if the Sweden, so the war for Sweden's independence fires, we'd actually be fighting alongside England. That's so funny. It's so funny. Which would actually protect them from us for a short amount of time, which is kind of unfortunate. Alrighty, just kind of letting the time pass here. And this next colony is almost done. So again, what we can do is we can do a thing where we pull this guy back. Now technically he's not working on this one, right? But this one's about to finish, so we can get him primed up. Because what you'll notice is, let's start working on the, is this Haiti? Or Dominican Republic? I'm actually kind of confusing which is which right now. But let's get over here and start scooping up these 3 centers of trade. So as we can see, where's our colonist? Where's our colonist? 160 days to get over here. He recalls instantly, but it takes him 100. So we actually should have done that more optimally. Because now we're technically, for a short amount of time, we're only working on 2 colonies instead of 3. If we're making a lot more money, we could actually maybe even push it to 4 colonies. But the 4th colony is going to cost a lot of money. Lots of potential rebellion. In fact, actually, there's so much rebellion going on. What is going on here? Oldenburg, like, what? Wait, why did this come out of nowhere? There's still separatism here, huh? Nice thing is, actually, if we step on Dorset, I think that's the only English separatist that we have. No, I lied. Oh, these are English separatists. Actually, this is going to be kind of annoying. But at least they'll spawn. Let's check this. I forgot, because these... And even up here, this is English too, isn't it? No. No. English separatists. What's going on here? Kent? So these are ready to rebel again. I think they've already rebelled once, but now they're ready to rebel again. That's not going to be too bad. It's either going to be Kent. They're going to spawn in Kent. Unless it says that there's going to be 2 stacks. That 8 right there is actually kind of confusing me. Now I'm actually kind of wondering here. It's not going to be 8 groups of rebels. No, it's just going to be... Just saying there's 8 provinces that are sort of like... have English separatists kind of like active within. We're at 80% with the Cornwall. It's saying we can actually get this idea group here, and we're 8 years ahead of time on the there's no reason not to hit this button. No reason not to hit that button. And we're paying for our forts. So what do we get for paying? I think there's a benefit to paying for forts, aren't we? There. I think it affects army tradition. Fully maintained forts, we're getting a plus modifier instead of a negative modifier. But if we take this away, do we just lose the plus modifier, or do we actually get hit with a penalty? Uh-oh. Our stability actually hasn't been messed around with much. Let's see, to boost our stability on our own would cost us 107 admin. So if we take this, we're basically losing 107 admin. I just realized our stability is not above 1. We usually like to have this boosted up. I think in this situation, that's a lot of money though, isn't it? That's a lot of money. We're making a lot of money, but dang. It's 4 years of income. You know what, we could just take the, let's take the Diplo. I'm gonna go into negatives for a bit, but we're making a lot of diplomatic points actually. We need to actually think about trading this off. So in 2 years we can switch this. We should switch this to admin. And speaking of admin, actually we should have waited till these were done coring. Because there's a little bit, you can see there's a 19% penalty for the overextension that we're suffering here. From this 38% overextension is affecting stability cost by 19%. Half a percentage per percentage of overextension. Let's spend some money here. Let's build some buildings, which will make us more money. Again, I'm seeing anything above 0.1 is good. London doesn't even have... Wow, London, I'm surprised doesn't even have a... Yeah, London's got nothing going on. We should definitely be building a marketplace in London. That'll affect its trade value. And we need a marketplace here. Yeah, that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge, actually. We need to make sure we have marketplaces in all of our centers of trade. So this is the area that colonialism has spawned. Major colonial port. So it actually got a modifier because it spawned colonialism. It got a beneficial modifier here. That's really cool. But it's not a center of trade, strictly speaking, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Workshops boost the production of a province. I'm seeing a lot of 0.11s. Here's a big number. What's going on here? Why would this be so large? There's nothing even built over here either. Oh, we need a center of trade. This is a center of trade. We need to build a marketplace there, and then we'll go back and build a workshop in a bit when that finishes. So from what I can see here, we're gonna need some temples, but we could also work on manufactories. Let's wait a bit. Manufacturing costs significantly more. It costs 400 ducats. So you're expecting to see a bigger numbers here. This province right here looks like it'd be pretty good to build one. Build one here at 0.36. I'm not seeing anything else that's even comparable to that. That's still not as good as just building a bunch of temples, I think. Especially if we can get 0.13s. Let's get the 0.13s and the 0.12. 0.13s here. Of course, we'll want to build one in London as well. We'll want to build one in this province as well. Yeah, we just spent a good amount of money there. Maybe we build a couple workshops. Especially if we can build them in the English Channel areas. Yeah, definitely up here. Definitely up here. That's a no-brainer. Boost the goods produced in these areas, boost the trade value. I think. I'm pretty sure value of goods produced affects trade in some way. I don't know exactly how that happened. So it's going to be the English separatists. Ironically, the English separatists are going to fire first before the Cornish ones. As long as we have the troops sitting here, that's how it's going to happen. Savoy's thinking about rebelling again. We can squash that pretty easily. And we can squash Oldenburg too. I don't think we're too worried about this, are we? No, they're at 0%. It's fine. It's saying, hey, look, we can get a new military technology. We just have to get it literally at an 80% penalty. We'd have to pay like double price for it. We are coming up on military cap here, so we are going to think about what can we do with that. Well, one of the things you can do, of course, is strengthen your government, boost legitimacy, but our legitimacy is already 100%. The other thing we could do is we can roll some generals. We already have some amazing generals, but we could roll more. We could try to replace this guy. Find a better one, maybe? But you know what? And then, of course, the other thing that we're probably going to do a good amount of is just developing our provinces, right? Making them stronger, making them contribute more manpower, and just boosting up our development. Yeah, I think that's really... So we can roll a couple of generals, and then just for fun, see if we can get really lucky rolls. and then we'll probably spend most of it developing. Actually, you know, we're max on leaders. We don't need to just hope for lucky rolls. We have some amazing generals. Let's think about where we want to develop. So to do that, again, we can go to this screen. We can look and see. It might make sense to develop in areas that are controlled by the nobility. This little tiny, it's so hard to see, but areas that are cheap to develop and also controlled by the nobility. Like I'm looking, here looks fantastic. Here looks fantastic. 46. We can also sort of do this by cost. Lots of 43s. Where's this? Take me to this? No, it won't. This is pretty cheap. What we should do here. Let's see if we can make the traders happy. They can actually give bonuses. They actually make it cheaper to build in those areas, don't they? Yeah, never mind. Their happiness is barely going. We're giving them land, and their happiness is barely going up. Barely going up. So let's not bother with that. But if, of course, if the traders are really high up here, if loyalty is above 60%, then we get 10% reduced development cost, which is a lot of power. You know, that really does help. But it looks like here, this is going to be pretty cheap and pretty effective. Yeah, I like that. We can also look at, go to the development. Isn't there some sneaky way to make it that we can like organize it by? Oh, this is what we want to organize it by here, I think. Because this is saying, I think this is making it cheap, but it's also showing we can get 400 more manpower. Let's not. This is actually kind of like, we don't need to spend that much time in this setting. Go to cost. There we go. Let's go back to cost. Or we could just go back to here. Say, okay, this one's pretty cheap. It's a 46. It's owned by the nobility. I like it. Let's hit this button a few times. There we go. Yeah, that works totally fine. There we go. We've spent a good amount of military power, but not all of it. Okay. What's going on next time? We got, we're sort of rebuilding. Oh, England spotted us. Whoops. My bad. We got some free diplomats. We got some stuff that we need to think about when we start the next episode. But thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I will talk to you guys later.